Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's Derpy, and I'm going to make my third video now on the report and appeal system, because, lately it's gotten some traction because of a tweet I made and some other stuff that's kind of gone down. This one's going to be without a script. My first two, I had a script, but this time I kind of got some bullet points and then some stuff I just want to show you guys and talk about so you can see my side of the story and maybe see why I'm so passionate about hearing more about this from, somebody that might know something from Blizzard. Or I just want to know more about it, because I think I know everything I need to know, but they never acknowledge it or say anything. So I kind of want to show you guys um, everything that I've seen so far. And yeah, I guess just to get started, we can talk about the tweet that I made a few days ago. So basically, this tweet I made, and I didn't really make it for any particular reason. This account that I'm talking about had been banned about a year and a half ago. Some people thought that I had another account get banned. That's not true. I just felt like tweeting again about this account. I've done it a few times. This time it just happened to get some more traction. You can see it got 1.4 million interactions or views, I guess, 24,000 likes. So, it got decent attention. But basically what the tweet was that, obviously I didn't put millions of hours, and it was probably more like I played a lot. You see the full diamond border. I probably put, total on that account, good amount. I don't know how much, in the thousands. Definitely in the thousands, probably the upper thousands. Maybe you get to like 10,000. A lot of time though. I had it in 2016. I didn't get the beta Overwatch 1, but like I started playing Overwatch 1 right when it was fully released. So that's how long I had the account until it got banned in 2024 in November. Um, and then I didn't put thousands of dollars, so I'm kind of exaggerating in this description, but I'd say I put like $300, including the purchase of the game, plus buying, bundles, skins, battle pass, probably 300, maybe 400, around there. But all of that, right, just to get banned over saying, like, and I put one example, it was me saying shut up. So, this is the context of like the kindergarten ban, like saying shut up will get you permanently banned. And this was a screenshot of me not being able to log into the account because it's still banned. And I know some of you guys are going to want to see these entire logs. Don't worry, I think I put them. You'll find it pretty shortly here. I'm actually scrolling down a lot more than I thought. All right, there we go. So these are the logs they gave me, and just make sure I move my face cam so you guys can like actually see. Okay, so I had four things here. The first one was spamming. So, right, like I copy and pasted the same thing over and over. I said, how do you lose? How do you lose? And I actually was reminded of the context of this. I had forgotten the context because it was so long ago, but somebody reminded me, and I believe it's true, is I was against a guy named CardyFan22, and he was on Doomfist. He was on Ilios, and he was just taking over the lobby. And I was really tilted, I guess, long night of games, and I just spammed. And this is a year and a half ago. I don't really remember exactly why I felt like spamming it so much, but I did. I just kept asking, how do you lose? How do you lose? Like, how does he lose games? Because he's so good. I'm not, in this instance, it might look like I'm flaming, one of my teammates asking how they lose, or I'm flaming the enemy team saying, how did they lose? But I'm actually asking somebody how they lose because they're so good. But yeah, you could argue it's still spam and it's still annoying, and I would agree with you, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of spamming. Maybe I've grown in the year and a half that I've been banned for, but is it permanently bannable? I don't think so, especially when they have things in place for spam already. You can't send more than 4 messages at a time. I believe you actually can't even copy your own text in Overwatch anymore. So like if you try to type something and then do Control C, Control V, it just won't work. I believe you can paste stuff into the text bar, but not copy your own stuff. And then the next instance was, yeah, me saying shut up. That was in the picture, in the original tweet. And then me saying you're so bad at Doom. So this was the exact same game, and I know that it's been confirmed by multiple people that I know of. They reminded me that this was true, so I'm not making anything up here. I hope you can believe me on that. I was telling CardyFan22 that he's so bad at Doom, and I've been on a team with this guy before. I've been friends with him for a year and a half. Obviously, I'm not intending to flame him. He probably beat me this game, and I was joking. He knows that too. He's not the guy that reported me. Um, so this is more, of a sarcastic joke towards one of my friends. And then I don't remember what this last one was. You're trash. I mean, if I'm being honest, the way I type, I'm not. If I actually meant it, I wouldn't have said it like this. Like you're both capitalized and trash. But like, maybe I was calling somebody trash. So maybe we have like one legitimate. But like, I mean, seriously, getting permanent banned. I mean, think of how much time I put into the game. I might be playing, 500 games a season. If I say this once, do I seriously deserve to get permanently banned? And it's not like somebody reported me over these logs. So here's what's happening is I got reported enough times to get banned, and then the admin goes through, or the guy reading the appeal, he goes through my logs, and then he finds these things. He finds pretty much the worst stuff he could find in the amount of time that he looks for, and this is what he found. So it doesn't mean that I got reported for these logs. That's just the worst he found. So if this is the worst I did on my account, which I've had for so long, it really brings up the case, should I be permanently banned? And my argument is, and of course, I'm going to actually go to the code of conduct here. I feel like it's a good time to transition to it. Technically, I did break the rules, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm like abiding by the rules. But let's look at what the rules say. When participating in communication of any kind, chat, VC, group finder, you are responsible for how you express yourself. You may not use language that could be offensive or vulgar to others. So I mean, this is already super general. I mean, anything at all could be offensive or vulgar to others. I mean, you could say what's up to somebody, they could somehow be offended. I mean, these rules are not specific. We've got, what, like 4 sentences total, and you can get permabanned over this stuff. And they keep going. Hate speech, discriminatory language, inappropriate, as well as obscene, disruptive language, threatening or harassing other players, always unacceptable, regardless of language used. Violating any of these expectations will result in account restrictions. More. So yeah, it talks about hate speech, discriminatory, like slurring and maybe telling people to do certain things themselves. That's terrible. And I haven't done any of that, but I don't know why they're deep diving into these examples. I didn't really do any of this stuff, and I got permanently banned. So it just sounds like you can really get banned for whatever you want. And my kind of belief is that they're doing this because it's automated and they don't feel like actually making real rules because they don't feel like actually enforcing them. So they're kind of just saying, let's just kind of put something out there, and if people get banned, then we can just say they broke the rules. That's what it seems like to me, and I personally believe they need to make these rules more clear. Obviously, I don't want anything to be automated, but I'm not going to sit here and act like, maybe me saying shut up was offensive to someone. But is it really permanent ban worthy? Here's what we have in the game sorry, I'm talking so fast, to prevent all of this. Again, I already mentioned the spam prevention. You can block somebody, you can mute somebody, you can leave the VC, you can hide the chat completely, you can turn on a profanity filter. If you type GG easy, it will like automatically replace it with something else. So there's so many things they can do, and they've already done, to like really limit the communication here. And they've really dialed in over the last couple of years, like making it so that messages that might be offensive at all, they're hidden first, and you have to click show message. And some of those messages that are hidden are like super unserious. Like it's just like it's so poorly done for the communication department. I'm kind of derailing here, but regardless, yeah, you could say I broke the rules, but then I could tell you that anybody in the game has broken the rules. So like, I mean, let's go back to this. Should I be permanently banned? I don't think so. Maybe you do. And like, it's just a problem when everything is automated. And if you don't believe me that it's automated, there's a document that somebody else made. I didn't make this. We've got some examples. So Carter here says you can be wrongfully banned in Overwatch for being mass reported for cheating, and I'm assuming it's the same thing for everything else. I did this on stream in a custom lobby where I asked players to come and report me for cheating, and he got banned. So he made the account, got reported, and then got punished. And we can only assume it's the same thing. You can be banned for cheating without playing a single match. You can be banned for abusive chat without communicating. And here's another example of that, actually. I even put something on Twitter about that. This guy named Seda, you might have heard of him. He makes workshop codes. He made the TXCXX code, if that sounds familiar, like the 1v1 code. He got muted for 14 days, and he said, can anyone tell me why I have this on my main account, which I only use to make workshop modes, have not played ranked or quick play in many years on this account? And I don't know why he would lie about that, so gotta believe him on that. Maybe people reported him through the workshop somehow, but I mean, if that doesn't tell you it's automated, I mean, all of these examples, and I'll link this document. There's actually a lot of good detail here, and I'll dive into a little more of it probably later as this video goes on, but obviously it's a pretty long document. I'm not going to read all of it, so I'll link it in the description if you want to read it or just go through certain parts of it. I'll have that there. Okay, so where am I going? So, yeah, it's automated. I'm permanently banned because of it. And obviously this has happened to a lot more people, not just me. So it's kind of like something needs to be said or done about this. That's my goal in doing all of this. When when I make a Twitter post, once every month about it, my goal isn't necessarily that I get unbanned. Yeah, I'd love to get unbanned, but even if I get unbanned, I still know there's so many people that like are going through something similar. And actually, I want to pull something up. Okay, they made a tweet. Can I just go? Yeah, play Overwatch. If I just go to play Overwatch. Okay, so there's this. Yeah, okay. So there's a thing like, yeah, August 2025, where this guy got banned for saying noob, and some of you guys might have heard about it. I don't have like a link to everything that happened. He got banned, and in the logs they said that he said the word noob, and obviously, why would you get permabanned for saying noob, right? So I tweeted about it, and I think a Dexerto article was written about it, and eventually the publicity kind of caught up, and then Play Overwatch tweets out, "Are bad, ban reversed, you can say noob now." So, how do you even think this stuff works? So do you think there's like a list of things you can't say, and somebody just felt like one day adding, "Yeah, you can't say noob," and then like all the people working at Overwatch and Blizzard, they're like, "Yeah, I agree, don't let them say noob." And then all of this stuff goes out, this article, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, we shouldn't have done that." And then they're like, "Oh, is my face cam covering?" It's not. I'm gonna move my face cam back to the. Sorry, but it's like, do you think they're like sitting there like, "Oh my gosh, we shouldn't have done that. We're gonna let them say noob now." And then social media manager comes in, he's like, "Our bad, ban reversed. You can say noob." No, like it's automated. It's completely automated. By the way, you can't say noob. This is untrue. And I love Overwatch Calvary, but I gotta give him. I love him. I respect his work. You know, as much as I'll bring him up, I've gotta say something like this is so like. Come on. Thanks for seeing. Like this is so bad, and you can see I even said something about it. But like they just undid one guy's ban because of publicity, and then they tweeted out something that's just totally untrue, so that everybody would get off their back and like let them chill out. Like it's just disgusting, and I'm kind of derailing here. But there's so many instances where this is disgusting. So my entire goal is to have them eventually say something where, sorry, my goal is to have them say something about the report system. I don't even have to be unbanned. I should be, but my goal is that they acknowledge it, that it's automated. They acknowledge that it's automated, and they either A, fix it. That's the easy thing to say, hard thing to do, or B, say they can't fix it and give us reasons why, tell us more how it works. I'd be fine with that too, but they haven't done anything. And I put out this tweet, a couple days ago, like I said, and like I said, it got so many views, so many likes, so many interactions. I promise you, it was trending on Twitter on the front page. I promise you they saw it. I promise you somebody at Blizzard saw it. Somebody that could have done something or said something saw it. I know it's only been a few days. Maybe they'll say something soon, but I don't believe they will. And I have reason to. A long time ago, you guys might remember this too. This is back when my account got banned for 1 month, so I've been punished several times. But when I'm getting punished for saying things like "shut up," I mean, like, can you really blame? Like, yeah, I've been banned a few times, but like, I just played the game a lot, got reported a lot because people thought it was funny to report me, and then I ended up getting banned. I mean, I have clips of people just reporting me because they think it's funny to report me because they know that I've been banned a few times, and it's all an automated system. So, like I said, when everything is so automated and you can get banned for saying nothing, I don't think getting punished multiple times is really a good excuse to be like, "Oh, well, you deserve it." But anyways, this is a few punishments ago. Moist Critical comes out with a video. So what happened was I tweeted about it. I think I tagged Blizzard CS, and then like PJ got involved. That whole thing happened. I remember Dexerto made an article about it. Jake Lucky made an article about it. And then it ended up being like Asmon Gold made a video about it. Moist Critical made a video about it. I mean, what more publicity can you really get? I promise you, they know about this. They're not just like blind, like completely shut off from everything. They know that they're, getting backlash for this. So it's not like they don't know what's going on. They can't say that. And I don't know how to really who to talk to because I don't want to go on Twitter every time. I would like to talk to somebody in private, who can I message type of thing to really get this fixed. And I tried DMing some people that worked at Overwatch and not Blizzard, but like worked in some Overwatch department. I've DM'd a couple people and I have the screenshots here, so I hid their name just to, out of respect. I don't want them getting any backlash for this. I'll move my camera. I don't know where to put myself. I'll go right here. Yeah, I don't want them getting any backlash for this because I respect that they replied to me at least, but I'm just gonna kind of show you that we're not really getting anywhere. So this is on April 28th, 2025. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. All right. I said, hey, I wanted to start off by saying I love the work you and the team have been doing for Overwatch. You know, I'm being very formal, respectful here. It's been exciting to keep up with, and I'm looking forward to whatever else you guys had planned, because this is when they dropped like perks and stadium and everything, and the game was doing really well. I said, you may or may not know me as a content creator competitor on the game. I'm super passionate about it, but I've been bothered for a while by how automated the report system seems. I don't want to dive into every detail since you're busy with other stuff, but I'd love to know if there's anyone on the team that I could contact or hop on a call with to have a better understanding of how things work. The topic has been, the topic has been floating around, and thousands of people are getting punished. Doesn't seem justified. And then I'm just being respectful. I know you're busy and stuff, right? And then he replies. He says, "Hey, the team that works on disruptive behavior isn't part of the Overwatch team, so it's kind of." Yeah, they work on all games at Blizzard, but I talk to them more than any other designer on our team, so I do think about these topics a lot. So this kind of tells me, you know, I kind of figured, but a lot of this stuff is a Blizzard problem, not really an Overwatch problem. But still, nobody really comes out to say anything about it, and I feel like some of the Overwatch people could, you know, tell us more about it, but we haven't heard anything. But anyways, there are a lot of things that I want to do better with regards to this topic, but the communication of players when they get action for these types of actions is about to get better in the very near future. And this was April 29th, 2025, almost a year ago. We're 3 months off of a year. I don't know if it's gotten any better. I haven't been actioned on any of my other accounts and like since I got banned on my main, so I don't know if this is true or not. From what I've seen, it's not true. And again, I respect all the work they're doing, but we just haven't seen any improvement here, and it's been 9 months. But this conversation continues. I say, love to hear that, makes sense. And I said, my concern is that in cases like mine where I appeal and receive logs, basically explaining what I said to you guys, where it's like lacking context and that I'm getting spam reported just for, you know, playing Reinhardt and being a streamer and all this stuff. Just saying that the context is lacking in the report system, trying to make, you know, this person aware. Um, yeah, it's basically all I said. Yeah, and then he said, I have opinions on that, but I'm afraid I can't dive into them on a Discord DM. There are a lot of things I'd like to change about our systems, though, and now that we're part of Microsoft, we have access to a lot of tech we didn't have in the past. I'm sure we'll make improvements. So it's a pretty good conversation I had in April, late April 2025. It's just like we haven't seen any improvement. We haven't heard anything since. Like this is the last time I've heard of anything. So I don't have much hope that we'll hear anything soon about this, and that's why I have to resort to things like Twitter and stuff because I don't know who to message. And again, I kind of asked if there was anybody I could contact, and he said that he was more like mostly the one connected, and it didn't seem like he wanted to share too much, so I respected that. But it's hard to learn anything about this, and I don't know where to go with it. I want to learn something about it, learn more about it, or at least have them like talk about it, and they just haven't done that. And I'd message somebody else too. So we have a different conversation, somebody else that works at Overwatch, different department, and I said, hi, I'm reaching out not to ask you to look into my suspension. Can you see it? Sorry, I'm covering. I'll go here now. But to ask you who I could contact to discuss on how reports are handled within the game. I've seen hundreds of instances where people have their accounts, so I'm basically repeating the same thing I've already said, saying it feels automated and unprioritized. Basically all I'm doing here is not asking to, you know, be unbanned, but rather trying to find out who I can contact just to talk about everything. Nothing in 5 days, so I just bump the message, and then nothing. So, month and a half later, again, I ask, you know, a little less formal this time because I don't even expect a response. But they said, hi, Derpy, I'm not able to help or give any context, sorry. And I said, are you not able to refer me to anyone that can help? No. So, like, they pretty much just shut me down, and I don't know. This is pretty discouraging to get, like, and this was before I had this conversation, but, like, this is really discouraging. And it makes me feel like the people at Blizzard have something against me, you know? Like, the people in the Overwatch team, they just don't like me because you know, I feel like this could have been handled more appropriately, but who knows? I mean, they probably just think I'm annoying. They don't want to talk to me. Maybe that's why they've been ignoring this so much, but I'm hopeless, and I don't want to go to Twitter all the time and do this stuff, but, like, where else can I go? I've tried DMing them. Um, I don't know who to contact on Blizzard. I've had some ideas on who to contact in the Overwatch team, and I've messaged them here, as you can see. But like, with Blizzard as a company, I have no idea where to go, and I'm not getting any help, so it's hard for me to really articulate my thoughts to anybody that would be open to listen to them, you know. Um, so anyways, I've mentioned that I'm gonna move my face cam back over. I mentioned that I've been punished several times. I'm actually going to one more time that I got punished, and I think it's here, yeah. Um, so this was June 20th, 2024. So yeah, this was I got permabanned twice. So I got permabanned in June 20th, 2024, and then I got unpermabanned because these were my logs. I said FW and WTF, like, and then they unbanned me. And then I got banned again in November, and this is the ban we're talking about. Um, so I posted about this on Twitter, and what ended up happening was that Kefri replied to this tweet, and he tagged somebody that worked at Overwatch. I'm not going to name them specifically so that they don't get spammed and stuff, but you could probably find the tweet and look it up if you want to and see Kefri's reply. But like right after that, like an hour later, I got unbanned. So it's really just like, it's really just like, to get unbanned, you have to like somehow get insane traction on Twitter, and then they just decide to unban you. And that's the only I've seen. I've never seen anybody get unbanned through their appeal. Like the game admin comes in and they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that. Like you don't deserve to be banned here, so we'll unban you." Like the appeal process doesn't seem to do anything unless you get insane traction on Twitter. Then it will be modified, and then you'll be unbanned. But if you get banned, it's pretty much over from what I've seen. And I have people come to me all the time, and they're like, "Yo, Derpy, can you post about this, or can you help me out with this?" And I don't know what to tell them because I can't get myself unbanned. I don't know why people expect me to get them unbanned. Like they're not gonna listen to me, obviously. But you know, I guess they did on June 20th, 2024. Um, so I've kind of explained everything in terms of it being automated, the publicity that I've tried to get, and like what my entire goal is with this. Um, Now I want to dive into like how this harms them and maybe some solutions because the solution part of it is pretty hard. I've thought of it a little bit, but anyways, so you might be thinking like, you know, obviously this harms the customers, but like why should they care, right? Like if so many people get banned but the game is still played and people still get on alt accounts, like why would they even care to change anything? And I would argue they're losing money by not caring. They're definitely losing trust in a lot of people. I think a lot of people, whether they think it or not, like whether they know or not, like in the back of their minds when they're playing Overwatch, they're always trying to be careful of what they say, and sometimes they might not even type anything at all. Not because they don't want to, but because they know they could get banned over it. Like people are probably scared to type, "What the fuck did I just do?" You know, something like that. They're probably hesitant to type it because they've seen so many cases like this where they'll just get banned for that. Um, so it loses player trust in the company and makes people play less. And not only that, they lose money. And here's why: because if you get permanently banned, you're just gonna go create a new account. Maybe you already have one, but it's not hard to create a new account. It's free. Um, but you're just gonna go play on that, and it's completely free. Whereas if you just got like, let's say they just permanently muted you, and then you kept your main account. Like me personally, if I still had my main account, I probably, you know, between November 2024 when I got banned and now, I probably would have spent another 100, 150 on cool skins that came out or like cool stuff, just because I like investing into my main account. You know, that's the account I've had for so many years. I think it deserves to have some cool stuff. Um, but I'm not going to do that for any of my other accounts that I've only played on for like a year or two, just kind of a backup account. I'm not really going to go buy, like for example, I play tank. Let's say they drop some really sick Zenyatta skin, really awesome. I want to have it, but I don't really play Zen. I'm not going to buy that on these alt accounts, but maybe on my main account, I would buy it just to have it, you know, because they don't really end up re-releasing things, so I might as well. But I'm not going to do that on my alt accounts, and that's just for me personally. You know, some people might not spend any money at all. Some people might spend money on their alt accounts, but they're missing out on money from me, and I feel like it's not just from me that they're missing money out. Like, there's probably a lot of people in the same boat as me that would spend more money on their main account if they had it. But simply just by losing player trust and by having less people in your game, you're losing money just because people don't want to play it. So, like, I mean, I don't know how much money we're talking, but it must be a pretty good amount that they're missing out on by just not addressing any of this stuff, keeping people permanently banned on their main account. So it harms them as a company, and that's kind of why I'm surprised they haven't said anything about it. And I'm imagining that's why they said, I think I lost the tweet, but I'm imagining that's why they went out and tweeted that stuff about like, oh, you can say noob now, is because they want to look good. They just want to look good, and they don't look good when all this stuff is going on. So I don't know why they just refuse to like talk to me and like maybe I can hear a few things about it or address the public is what they should do. They should address the public, whether it's through an article or a video or a tweet or something. They haven't done any of that. Um, and as far as like solutions go, like what can they do now? I would say, listen, I'm only really talking. I know you can get like automatically banned for cheating and like everything. I'm really only talking about abusive chat right now. I think what they should do instead of permanently banning people is just permanently mute them. Again, that would help them get more money. People would buy more stuff on their main account. But do you really deserve to be permanently banned for abusive chat? Like, does it really help them out to ban you for it versus just mute? Like, even if you're the worst case offender, like you're going on the game spamming slurs and doing all this bad stuff, like it's terrible. If you get permanently muted, you can't type anymore. You can't say slur. You can't use the VC. Like, it stops the problem right then and there without doing anything more. And it's more of like if they want to have an automated system, it's a way safer way to do it. So I think that would be a good way to start. Um, and maybe you just go through everybody that's banned for inappropriate communication and you just give them a permanent mute. I don't know how plausible that is. Like if you go through the database of all the people banned and then you like see their reasoning is inappropriate communication, somehow change that to a permanent mute. I don't know what their system looks like. I don't know how plausible that is, but it's a starter. And then maybe from there, like obviously they don't have the funding, it seems like, to actually have real people look at these appeals. But maybe a long-term goal could be, getting a few people to look through appeals and like, give people the right judgment on if they should be muted, if they shouldn't be muted. And I don't want to dive into that too much because I know that we're talking about money and resources and human resources, people, and that's a lot to dive into. I don't want to get into all that. But I think a good starter could just be giving people permanent mutes instead of bans for abusive communication. Um, because yeah, like I said, I just don't see the purpose of being banned versus just muted. Another thing is it harms people that play the game a lot. Right? Like if let's say I play 500 games a season is 2 months. So let's say I play 250 games a month, right? I'm playing a decent amount of games. And let's say every day, and not even every day, let's say every few days, 1 out of 3 days, I get tilted and I tell somebody to shut up. That's what I do, right? Is that really that bad? Am I a criminal that deserves to be permanently banned? No, I'm not. But eventually I'll get maybe reported enough to where I'll just get banned. Versus like, let's say some guy gets on the game once or twice a month, and he plays 2 to 3 to 4 games total a month. But every game he's in, he's just screaming slurs, telling people to do stuff to themselves they shouldn't do. He's doing all this stuff, but he doesn't get enough reports because he doesn't play enough games. So that guy's never gonna get banned. You're never gonna report that guy and get back on the game and see, oh, thanks for reporting. That's just not how it works. Sadly, it's not how it works. And that's the sad part about it being automated, that there's so many problems with it. And like, I don't know, their report system just seems super bad. I wish they would address it. Um, I'm not saying they have to unban me. Should they unban me? I think they should, and now this unbiased. But what I would like to at least see them come out and say something about it. I'm not trying to be annoying, by the way, when I post a bunch of shit on Twitter. I just don't know what else to do at this point. Like, I really want my main account back. I'm sure a lot of people can say the same, and they just don't have 10,000 followers on Twitter, so they don't have the voice to do it. So I'm like the only guy that really has the following on Overwatch to really say anything, or that really says anything about it. Because a lot of the other creators, they haven't gone through this, so why would they care? But that's why I spam Twitter so much, and it may seem really annoying, and sorry if I come off as annoying. If I was like a casual viewer and I kind of saw this all the time, I'd probably think I was annoying too. But I hope you can see my side of the story, and that's really all I have to say. I don't really know what else there is to say. If you've got questions, put it in the comment section. I'll try to address them if I can. I don't think I really missed out on anything though. And again, I'll put this document in the description. If you want to read it, feel free. But obviously you don't need to. Anyways, thank you for watching, and yeah.